What else we got? Gabe Hoffman in the space. Hey, shout out Gabe Hoffman. Gabe Hoffman, who is Jewish. Milo texted Gabe Hoffman when the Latino Zoomer thing came out. Milo was like, "Hey, like, you're lying right now." And Gabe Hoffman was like, "Oy vey, I don't care. He's an anti-Semite. Tell me why I should tell the truth." I mean, literally, this he sent me the screenshots. It's literally like Gabe Hoffman, who is Jewish, who is a journalist, was literally like, "Why should I tell the truth? He's a rabid anti-Semite. I don't care. I don't care that it's a lie. What good does it do to tell the truth about a racist like Nick Fuentes?" It's unbelievable. Like, you wonder why, like, one day for no reason at all. Isn't that what they say? One day for no reason at all. I mean, literally. We're like, "Hey, Gabe Hoffman, there's evidence you're lying right now. Who cares? He's an anti Semite and he's got to be shut down." Okay, Gabe. Ass. Whatever. Anyway, so hey, Gabe Hoffman. You're cringe, you're gay, you're Jewish, and you're not even funny. And I'm epic and based and red pilled. Yeah, Gabe, why don't you call in? Call in, Gabe. It's like 30 hours, Gabe calling. Right? All right. He's loading in. Gabe calling. Hello, Gabe. You're on the air. What's going on?
I'm right here. You wanted to talk to me, so I'm right here. And let me
There's
tell you
that
something.
voice.
Well,
All right,
you're
let's hear it.
lying about what those screenshots said because I've got them too. Milo had a problem with me describing Latino Zoomer, the guy who got arrested for the TPUSA threats and the child porn. I described him as a key lieutenant of yours. I described him as that for what I thought was good reason. I told him what my reasons were, and he disagreed.
But he wasn't a key lieutenant, and there's no evidence that he was.
Okay,
He
so when
showed
you
up in an event.
so
Hang on. I let you talk. You said your
okay.
thing. He showed up in an event. There's a picture of me with him. And you said everybody knows who the key lieutenants are. Vince James, Kai, Beardson, Baked Alaska. Everybody knows who spoke at AFPAC. Everybody knows who's on Cozy. And you found some guy who took a picture and who was on Twitter before, was in the super chats or something, and you're like, "Well, he's a key lieutenant." And Milo's like, "Well, no, he's not." And your response, I mean, I could pull him, it would take me a minute, but your response was literally like, "Well, Nick Fuentes is an anti-Semite, so."
Had nothing to do with
And there
that.
it is.
Had nothing to do with that. I
Oh,
described
it
him as
always does.
I described him as a key lieutenant because when you had a call for action for your groypers to come and march with you at TPUSA, there was a few dozen people showed up, and he was one of them. And in my view, if you've got however many followers you got, and a few dozen people show up, then those few dozen people are your key lieutenants. Number two, you shouted this guy out on your live stream multiple times. You defended him from other accusations on your live stream. People have the clips. And he gave you a bunch of donations a bunch of times, and you shouted him out a bunch of times in the live stream. He was not just anybody. He was closer to you than most of your followers from the time that he was your follower. That's why I described him as what it was, and that's it. And by the and
You
by the
did.
and
You're
by the
making
and by the
stuff
way,
up.
by the way,
What?
you may or may not know, I funded, I produced, and I gave away for free the documentary An Open Secret, ended the career of Bryan Singer, exposed a couple other Hollywood pedophiles, ended their careers. I gave it all away for free. I've done more to end the careers of Hollywood pedophiles and expose them than literally anybody else on the face of the earth. And I'm a conservative,
And that's
and I'm a
great. And that's
conservative, and
great.
I've never voted for a Democrat. I've never given money to a Democrat. I've always been a Republican, and I'll always be a Republican and a conservative.
Yeah, but the problem is you're also Jewish. And so you took great liberties with the truth because you perceive me as against Jewish people. And that's just a fact. I mean, you say your entire piece here is completely convoluted. You know that that's not even remotely a a true interpretation or reasonable interpretation of the facts. If you've ever seen my show, which I'm sure you have, because you pulled all that. You know that people super chat constantly. They're not. Lieutenant implies that they're taking marching orders. Lieutenant implies that there's proximity or closeness. Lieutenant, what a lieutenant is somebody it's a military rank which says that they're high up on the totem pole, giving orders to other people below them and taking orders from the top. And your evidence is, well, he super chatted the show and he showed up to CPAC, which, as you know, is the biggest conservative convention in America.
He showed up to march
when
with
I said,
you.
hey, there were hundreds of people that showed up to the press conference. I showed up to CPAC before the press conference. There were about 200 or 300 people that showed up to the press conference. And a lot of them don't even agree with me. Anti or true justice, social justice warrior showed up. Nuance Bro showed up. All kinds of people showed up. Elijah Schaefer showed up. Elijah Schaefer's not a key lieutenant. He does a show at the Blaze. And you know all that. And when you were confronted with the facts, you said, well, Milo, and if you really want me to, I don't have them on me like you do, but I could get Milo to send me the screenshots. And the evidence was sent to you, and you literally said, well, he's an anti-Semite and a Holocaust denier and a racist. And I know you think that, and that's why you take liberties with the truth. And that's the problem that we have. You know, you can attack me for a lot of things. You want to say that I agreed with Ye when he said he loved Hitler. Well, I did say that. And you can attack me for the cookie joke, and you can attack me for, you know, whatever else. But I mean, what you're talking about with the
not liking women like a conservative should. Yeah, okay. There was about 30 or 40.
Oh, yeah,
there was about 30 or 40 people that
go.
marched alongside with you inside the hall of CPAC, and Latino Zoomer was one of them.
Do you know who the other 40 were?
30 or 40 key lieutenants that showed up to march with you to the hall.
30 or 40 key lieutenants.
Yeah, and he was one of them.
30 or 40 key lieutenants. How many lieutenants do you think there are? 1 billion? 6 million?
Well, we know you don't think that.
He showed up with 6 million of his closest lieutenants. He told a super chat to one of his key. I mean, what a reach. What a liar you are. And it was just to get the narrative you wanted. That's why people have a problem. And you know what? Like, you should just be honest, because the day is going to come when people see this kind of shit where you're just obviously a liar, and they're going to say,
why don't you be honest with people about why you don't like women, Nick?
Well, why
aren't you attracted to women? Why don't you date women? We'll talk about being honest.
Why
are you such a conservative Christian against porn, but we know you like trans porn, we know you like all kinds of weird porn?
Do you see the kinds of tactics on display here,
everybody? They're not tactics,
this is what we're up against.
You're a hypocrite.
So let me get this straight. You got proved wrong. You came in here real tough and said,
now you asked me to come. I was minding my own business.
You DM'd me. You said, I'm going to come in if you're not afraid. And then you made your case. I proved you wrong. And I said, you're obviously like not using a reasonable interpretation. And without missing a beat, it's, well, how about why you're not a man, Nick? How about why you like trans porn? It's like, it's so typical. This is why people have a problem. Do you understand that? Okay. You don't worship God. You're not a conservative.
I don't worship God.
Jesus Christ is a real God. And when the end of the world happens, a bottomless pit is going to open up and swallow you because you don't worship Jesus. And long before that, Christians in America are going to have enough with the fucking deception. How disgusting. You come in here guns blazing, and when you get proved to be a liar, it's on to the next lie. What about this other thing that was proven false?
You didn't prove anything. I tell you what, Nick,
you're a liar. We don't need to listen to that anymore. Lie. If you want to get into the other thing, back in June, there was a fake Twitter account that was made. There's no evidence that it was even mine other than it was made to resemble a burner account that I've used. By the way, it hasn't even been banned. I make Twitter accounts every day. They're all banned. They all get banned after a day. I do a space on all of them. And back when all kinds of interpersonal drama was happening with my organization, an account went up that never did a space, was never advertised where I've advertised every other account, has still not been banned. It's been disabled, but not been suspended. And that's the one where purportedly there was a tab of pornography open when a screen recording was made, which I never do. I never do a screen recording with Kanye music on. He was Kanye at that time. You know, looking through tabs. I mean, what a joke. Let me read through them though, because I don't want to violate confidence real quick. Oh, let me read them. Okay. Milo says, Velasquez has nothing to do with Fuentes. He never had anything to do with America First, other than declaring himself a member of the movement. Key Lieutenant is a pure fabrication. I know you care about being right on the facts. You may not like Nick, but the tweet is just completely wrong in every way. Gabe responds, your opinion is noted. When I see a guy who travels to march with Fuentes at CPAC in a small group, that is a key lieutenant. That is a commitment only a small number of people made. Milo says, I didn't express an opinion. This is dishonesty, dishonest. Gabe says, there is publicly posted video of that. It's a fact. Milo says, you dreaming up key lieutenant, knowing what that implies to people. This is straight up dishonesty or better than that. Gabe replies, if Fuentes has 50,000 followers and 1 out of 1,000 or 50 travel and show up to march IRL with him, I believe that makes someone a key lieutenant. Milo replies, bullshit. This is why you worry me. You suspend your sense of right and wrong and good judgment when you think, for instance, that someone hates Jews. You can't just cook up crap. It destroys your credibility. This is very disappointing. Gabe replies, he does hate Jews. I don't merely think he does. Milo replies, whatever. Why not attack him with something that is true? This isn't. Gabe says, regardless, I've heard what you have to say, and I've respectfully provided my reasoning for my statement. Milo says, and it makes you someone I can't work with because you're not honest. You've explained and confirmed that this is your own concoction, which is basically a willful lie. Gabe replies, get this, keep things in proper perspective. If our greatest disagreement in more than 4 years is how I describe someone's affiliation with Nick Fuentes in a tweet, that's not a big deal. Milo says, I can't work together with people like that, and that's a shame. This is telling. You already knew it was BS when I texted you, and you're completely defiant and unrepentant about it while admitting it's your own invention. That is not good from where I sit. Gabe says, false. I gave prior thought to my description and provided a reference in the thread. And Milo says, playing fast and loose, associating people with child abusers makes a mockery of your project, calls into question your methods and your judgment. Gabe says he is associated with him. We shall have to agree to disagree. So he literally says, well, he hates Jews, so it's not a big deal. This is why people have a problem, man. This is why people have an issue. Classic. All right, let's see. What else we got? What else do I need to cover? Thank you for proving my point. Now Gabe texts me, why have you said Catboys excite you so many times? He's typing it. Do you see the fucking meltdown? Yeah, journalist, by the way. Conservative Republican journalist, by the way. Oh, my narrative just crumbled. Why didn't you like girls? What about Catboys? Every single time.